I had to wonder to why people tend to complicate lives so much more than necessary. Usually, most of us tend to do so because we have a lot of questions in our heads. And I think that is one of the disadvantages of not being spiritual. And I would advise a lot of people to be open at least to spiritual knowledge, spiritual wisdom. Because living without that is somehow a way of having a lot of questions in your head that we will never get an answer for. And even if you do, you'll have more questions in your head and you'll be living your life like that forever. That's why most of people who are not spiritually developed, they end up growing so old and still having so much questions in their head. And dying like that could be a very regretful way of living life. Because to me, the most important thing in life is being born and dying. That is what you should have in your head, like that number one and number last. Being born and dying, that's the only, and in between those should come a word, life, living life. So living is a simple word that tells you to live life. Being born is also a simple word, and dying is also a simple word that defines. So those meanings should already simplify life for you. You are born, so from then start living life as it is, and then understand and expect death will come in some point in your life. So that at least having yourself to acknowledge that you'll live life so much more lively than you are. And life is so simple. It's not that complicated after all. All you gotta understand is to flow with life as it is, just as much as a bird flows with the wind. We are the most complicated creature because we don't flow with life as it is. Okay, you know the good and the bad, you know the disaster and the pleasure of life and all of that. So why don't you just simply just tell yourself like, okay, it's about darkness and brightness in this same life. Because of course it's not like a heaven or life of heaven which would be perfect. So understand that and live life as it is. Do it your way, work your way, succeed your way. And as long as you understand that you're doing the necessities as a man or a woman, speaking of a man, you grow up, you know that you're a man, you know your responsibilities, your roles. All you got to do is earn knowledge, work, succeed, and don't specify your life to be a certain way as others. No, 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 no. You want it this way, do it that way. Make your own choices and all of that. As long as you know that you're not making wrong choices. Because of course, every cause has its consequences. So if you're gonna make bad choices and all, understand that it will have its consequences. So don't question it too much, because that's just the way life was designed. So I would say that as much as you know that a plant needs to be watered and it needs a certain time to grow, and by the time it grows, you understand that that is the way it is. That is the way it is. You water it, you get sunlight, it grows, and at last it blooms, and you're very much happy to see that plant blooming. You should implement all that, the series of that plant, you should implement it in your own life, knowing that you're a plant in this world. You will need certain things to grow, and you'll need a certain time to keep growing. And you will come at a time where you will bloom. And at that time, you should be satisfied enough. And the time you start drooping and you see yourself getting old, also embrace it, because it's part of life. Is this it? The moment you realize and the moment you practice or learn how to accept that and embrace it, trust me, you will have less questions in your life. Would you rather have a lot of questions that you will end up one day dying regretting that you have not lived life as simple as it is? Or would you just want to live life knowing that this is just it's just part of the flow, and I shall not go against it. I should just accept it and go with it, practice it as it is, and end up dying that, you know what? At least I lived.